Are you winning the battle for relevance? And if you weren't, would you even know? Now, we're living in pretty tumultuous times where it's almost like a perfect storm of technological, social, demographic changes, which mean that what you were doing 5 years ago probably isn't working so well today and is highly unlikely to be working in 5 years' time. And see, this is the challenge facing businesses, organizations, brands, leaders right now. How do you reinvent yourself as shifts happen so that you can stay relevant, stay ahead of the curve, ahead of the competition? You know, I've spent the bulk of the last 8 years looking at trends and changes that are affecting businesses, organizations, and leaders. And I'm in this session, Winning the Battle for Relevance. A key part of my focus is to really drill down and look at some of the trends and shifts that are going to affect our organizations and leaders in the years to come. And so depending on the audience I'm speaking to, I'll look at specific trends that will shape the coming few years and what the implications of those may be. Because the reality is, like a good surfer, if you're going to catch a wave, you've got to paddle out while the wave is still forming on the horizon. In that same way, as an organization or a brand or a business, how do you start preparing now for the shifts and the trends that are going to affect you in a couple of years' time? But you know, this session isn't just about understanding trends and changes and challenges. It's really focused on solutions. You know, I love to not just look at failure stories like, look at Kodak or Borders or Nortel. And rather than looking at failure stories, I'm fascinated by success stories. What do brands and businesses and organizations that stay enduringly relevant do that the endangered brands and businesses have failed to do? And so, you look at an example like Lego, a company that started in the 1930s that began by making timber toys and then moved into plastic blocks, and then it was play sets, and then it was video games and online multiplayer universes, and now of course it's smartphone apps. It's a brilliant example of a brand that has stayed relevant by reinventing itself and rethinking what it does and how it does. And there are many other brands like it. You look at IBM, you look at McDonald's, look at Volvo. And in this session, what I'm aiming to do at every point is make sure the audience members leave with a clear action plan for responding to and anticipating change and staying ahead of the curve. Now, as Charles Darwin once said, it is not the strongest that survive, nor is it the most intelligent. It is those most responsive to change.